Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into an inspiring story from the world of Indian politics. We're focusing on Dr. Medha Kulkarni, a name that truly embodies principled leadership and, well, serious grassroots empowerment. Her journey is quite something.
Yeah, and this deep dive, it's actually based on a really captivating cover story. It was written by Prime Point Srinivasan and Priyadharshni Rahul. You can find it in the June 2025 edition of the eMagazine PreSense. So our mission today, it's pretty clear. We want to unpack Dr. Kulkarni's unique path, from being a distinguished academic to becoming a really impactful member of parliament. We'll explore her initiatives, the ones making real change, try to understand what defines her leadership style, and also look at her vision for India's future, especially for Pune city.
Okay, let's unpack this. You find her story is a powerful example of dedication. It's quite a shift, isn't it? Moving from, let's say, the more structured world of academia into the often unpredictable world of public service. Dr. Kulkarni had this very distinguished background as an academic. So what do you think was the real catalyst for her moving from the classroom to, active public life back in 1998 and then entering electoral politics in 2002?
Well, I think you have to look at her roots, her family legacy. It gives so much context. Her father, Dr. Medha Kulkarni, he was a freedom fighter, actually jailed for 2 years during the Goa Liberation Movement. And later, as a doctor, he was known for treating patients, especially those who couldn't afford it, often completely free of charge. That kind of selflessness, leaves a mark.
Absolutely. That early exposure must have been profound.
Definitely. And her husband, Sri Vishram Kulkarni, he was also deeply involved in social work, particularly with the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, the RSS. She herself was also active in social activities and what they call Sangh activities community service, nationalist-oriented work. So it was kind of ingrained. As a teacher and later a professor, her core belief was always about bringing positive change, contributing to nation building. But she realized that while education is vital for instilling values, politics offers a much broader platform for, transformation on a larger scale. Her conviction really became good politicians can build a nation through development and social service. That idea really drove her.
Right. So that led to her formal entry into politics. She joined the BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party, through their women's wing in Pune, and she quickly took charge of the Anya Nivaran Samiti, focused on reducing injustice against women. That's significant. Then in 2002, the party encouraged her to contest the municipal elections, and she won, becoming a corporator from a seat reserved for women. What were those early days like, stepping into that arena?
Oh, it was impactful, definitely. But not easy. There were real challenges. She faced quite a bit of societal resistance back then, especially from men who just weren't used to seeing a woman in an independent leadership role like that. And then there's the bureaucratic mindset, Officials sometimes dismiss public representatives, let alone a woman representative.
I can imagine. How did she handle that?
What's interesting is how she tackled it. Instead of delegating everything, she personally handled all the tasks, making decisions, attending meetings, giving speeches, dealing directly with officials, everything. And kind of unexpectedly, being a woman actually turned into an advantage. It gave her this unique access. She could connect directly with women in their own homes, build trust, organize them effectively at the grassroots, something male politicians maybe couldn't do as easily.
That's fascinating, using a perceived challenge as a pathway.
Exactly. It shows how those foundational values from her childhood didn't just guide her path, but helped her navigate and even leverage the obstacles. Real dedication there.
Okay, so let's move on from those initial years. Her time as corporator spanned 3 terms, 2002 to 2014, and then she served 1 term as an MLA, member of the Legislative Assembly, from 2014 to 2019. Having those official positions obviously gave her more clout, more ability to allocate funds. Here's where it gets really interesting. The sheer breadth of her work is astonishing.
It really is. Her impact at the grassroots is quite something. Take education and empowerment. She set up Anganwadis, those crucial early childhood centers. She saw how vital they are. And she didn't stop there. Vocational training, free courses for women to become self-reliant, even literacy classes for women doing household chores. Small things, maybe, but huge for confidence. Plus, free study centers, libraries for kids in slum areas, giving them access,
That focus on foundational support is clear. What about health and social services?
Yeah, a deep commitment there, too. She helped shape Pune's policy for hawkers, protecting livelihoods. But her work for people with disabilities really stands out. Free prosthetics, wheelchairs, and setting up free clinics in slum areas. It's about removing basic barriers to health, to dignity. She also established free gyms, mainly for women, along with yoga classes, thinking about overall well-being.
And culture wasn't forgotten either, right? The Savarkar Memorial.
Exactly. She understands that connection between culture and identity. Creating that grand memorial for Veer Savarkar with a museum and library at the spot where he burned foreign clothes that's significant historically. Environmentally, she organizes these big cycle rallies every year on PM Modi's birthday,
Right.
raising awareness. And as an MLA, she really pushed rainwater harvesting, funded projects in housing societies, commissioned audits that actually showed groundwater levels rising. She was looking ahead, thinking about future water conflicts, climate change impacts. Very forward-thinking.
That's strategic. And urban development, Pune has major challenges there.
Oh, definitely. The traffic at Chandni Chowk was notorious. She played a major role in tackling that, working with Minister Nitin Gadkari on that huge Rs 900 crore integrated plan with NHAI. She was also deeply involved in the metro development plan, projects like Pushan Lake restoration, the Ramnadi River project, and beyond infrastructure, things like free legal aid centers, career guidance centers. It's a very holistic approach to community needs.
And her advocacy for the Marathi language.
Yes, very passionate about that. She believes strongly, and she said, if a language survives, culture survives. And if culture survives, the nation survives. As head of the Marathi Language Committee, she really championed getting it recognized as a classical language. It's about preserving that cultural core.
You can definitely see it. Her work isn't just about abstract policy. It's about direct, tangible improvements, clean water, education, opportunities right there where people live. That's real impact. Now, her political journey, it's clearly influenced by her family, as you mentioned, but also her long association with the RSS. Let's explore the key influences, the mentors perhaps, that shaped her leadership.
Absolutely. The RSS ideology itself instilled that deep respect for figures like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Veer Savarkar, and this core belief in dedicating your life to national goals, putting the nation first. But specific leaders were also huge influences. The late Atal Bihari Vajpayee, for instance. From him, she learned the importance of really studying an issue thoroughly, articulating it effectively. She admired his inclusiveness, his oratory.
A master communicator.
Truly. Then from Sri Lal Krishna Advani, she took the lesson of being firm, principled in your decisions. His Rath Yatra, his strong stance on Hindutva, that resonated. The late Pramod Mahajan, she calls him a true perfectionist. He taught her meticulous planning, flawless execution. You see that in her project management.
And Prime Minister Modi.
Yes, a major inspiration, his accessibility, his transparent governance approach, his unique working style, and just the sheer scale of what he's undertaking, advancing India on development, culture, security fronts. Initiatives like Make in India, Digital India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, these inspire her to make sure citizens' needs are always addressed. That drive comes partly from his example, it seems.
That's a powerful mix of influences. You also mentioned her role as national vice president of the BJP Mahila Morcha, the women's wing.
All right.
Why does she feel it's so critical for more women to get into public life, especially given the resistance she faced herself?
Well, her point is that under PM Modi, there have been so many women-centric government schemes launched. Things like the Matru Vandana Yojana for maternity benefits, Lakpati Didi for self-reliance, Ujjwala loans, Ujjwala Gas, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. For these schemes to really work, to reach the women they're intended for effectively at the grassroots level, she believes you absolutely need a strong force of women activists and leaders on the ground. Women leaders, she feels, are just uniquely positioned to connect with local women, understand their specific challenges, and actually make these programs succeed. Her philosophy is quite clear. When a woman changes, her whole family changes, and that ripples out into society. So getting more women into politics is crucial for advancing women's progress overall.
That makes a lot of sense. Has she undertaken specific initiatives herself in this area?
Oh, yes. As national vice president, she toured the country, studying the Anganwadi programs in detail. This led to a pretty comprehensive 100-page report she submitted to the central government. And apparently some of her recommendations were actually implemented, particularly in Maharashtra. She also authored a book, Mahilancha Hakachi Sanad, which translates to Charter of Women's Rights. It compiles laws relevant to women, aiming to make that crucial legal information accessible, bridging that knowledge gap for ordinary women.
Impressive work. So looking ahead, now that she's a member of parliament, what's her vision? What are her priorities for Pune and, well, beyond?
What's really striking is that she says her focus isn't really on her personal political future. It's almost entirely on how she can use her position to benefit Pune city. She talks about Pune being this incredibly important place, a rich culture, an education hub, IT hub, cultural center. Her top priority, she says, is preserving Pune's unique cultural heritage, even as it expands rapidly and undergoes cultural changes. She's deeply concerned about issues like traffic, unauthorized construction, encroachments, things she feels make cities lose their character and order. So she sees her role as being a crucial link, trying to foster a more law-abiding society and improve the quality of life for everyone in Pune, balancing that progress and preservation.
It's so clear, isn't it? Her leadership is this blend of strong principles, very practical action, and this deep-seated vision for the community's well-being, especially focused on Pune. That dedication really comes through, and that dedication hasn't gone unnoticed. She received the Sansad Ratna Award, a really prestigious recognition in her very first year in Parliament. What does an award like that mean to her?
Yeah, that's quite an achievement. For her, she says it's a mix of things. Immense gratitude, definitely. A big pat on the back, you could say. But also powerful motivation to work even harder. She's quick to point out it's not just for her, but recognition for her whole team. It underscores that collective effort, and it just deepens her sense of responsibility. Even getting it in her first year, she feels she still has so much to learn from senior parliamentarians. She sees Parliament as this vital platform, a chance to really master the procedures, work towards justice for the public through legislation, and tackle national issues more effectively. It really reinforces her commitment.
That's a great perspective, seeing it as more responsibility, more opportunity to learn. So for young people in India, especially young women who might be thinking about entering politics, what advice does she offer based on her own journey?
Her advice is very direct, very practical. No shortcuts. She says, fundamentally, nothing is possible without thorough study. There's no shortcut to gaining knowledge. And she means studying broadly various subjects, understanding the media, getting intimately familiar with parliamentary rules and procedures, really digging into the Constitution. But it's not just academic preparation. She stresses you absolutely need strong public speaking and communication skills. You need a genuine, deep passion for social work. And crucially, you need to stay sensitive to people's problems. Really feel them. She believes if you cultivate these things, the intellect, the communication, the empathy, then you can genuinely overcome challenges and make a real contribution.
That advice is incredibly grounded, isn't it? It's not just about ambition. It's about the hard work of preparation, continuous learning, and that essential human connection, that empathy. Really insightful. Dr. Medha Kulkarni's journey, as we've heard, it's just a powerful example of a multifaceted leader. From academia to parliament, defined by clear principles, relentless grassroots effort, and this profound commitment to service and preserving culture. Her story really underscores the power of conviction, of having a clear vision, and just consistent hard work in creating real, tangible change. So reflecting on Dr. Kulkarni's very comprehensive approach, touching everything from cultural preservation to environment to grassroots empowerment, here's something for you to think about. Which aspect of nation building do you believe is the most critical for India's future right now, and why? Is it the cultural foundation, environmental sustainability, or that direct grassroots empowerment?